Hey everybody, Lorelia here. I wish I had cleaned my lens. Try to. I know my lens is a little blurry. Okay, maybe this is a little better. Hey, how you doing? On this nice, beautiful day here in New Jersey. Trying to open up my um, what is this thing called? I forget. um, I don't know, the thing on the top of the car. But anyway, wanted to do a quick video. I've been trying to get this video out the whole week, but if you're new to my channel, my name is Lorelia Brown-Phillips, and I've, created over, I don't know, I've lost track, over 300 videos on the topic that I want to talk to you about is personal finance, specifically credit. And so that is why I titled this video, Bankruptcy, What the Poor Don't Know. And the reason why I titled it is because this video motivated me from a conversation that I had earlier this week with someone. And the person I know is very close to me, and they are currently right now going through bankruptcy. And the sad thing about bankruptcy is that many people look at it as a death sentence. And I totally get the psychological triggers that bankruptcy can put on a person, especially if they're in financial despair and they're financially strapped. And what do I mean by financially strapped? Meaning the only source of income that's coming into their bank account or in their household is their job. And already they are struggling to make ends meet with just that amount of money. So here lies now the dreaded scarlet letter, which is bankruptcy, the big B. And just to give you a little background information, there are different types of bankruptcy. And I'm not no attorney, so I'm not going to specifically go through them. But here in New Jersey, which is considered a homestead state, bankruptcy friendly, if you currently have an asset, you own a home or what have you, as long as you follow the process that has been put forth for you with the bankruptcy case, you will most likely, keep your home. Keep in mind, I'm no attorney, so this video is not to give you financial advice or legal advice. So with knowing that New Jersey is a homestead friendly state, bankruptcy friendly state, but yet and still this person is plagued with the scarlet letter, the big B, he or she, and like I said, I don't want to for anonymity purposes, but I'll just, the person feels a little down. And like I said, I totally get it. But see, what the poor do, what the reason why I titled this, it was a few titles that I wanted to go with, but I decided to go with this one. And what the poor does not understand about bankruptcy is, I totally get it about poor is a state of mind. But I guess when in this context, when I say poor, people who are struggling financially, they look as bankruptcy as a way to eliminate debt. And I know I got to speed this video up because I don't think I have that much battery power. And we live in a society where debt is bad. Oh, you don't want to get into debt. Do whatever you can to get out of debt. And so people really want to live this lucid life that they're just going to go through life and never owe no one. And I always say, you being in debt is relative to the amount of income that you bring in. You eliminate your income, 9 times out of 10, if you have credit cards, you have good credit, you're going to get access to money, you're going to get back into debt. Because remember, if the only source of income you have is a job, and that income is taken away from you, and you have good, you're going to leverage that credit. You're going to go out and try to get credit cards. You're going to do whatever needs to be done in order for you to put food on your table. And so going back to what I said about what the poor does not understand about bankruptcy is that they think it's a tool to get out of debt. I totally get it. That's the reason why I wrote my book. Because when you have a whole bunch of people coming to you saying, you know, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me money, you're about to get foreclosed, and then you know, here you only bring this small amount of money in, and you got all these people saying, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, you're about to get, you know, your house about to get foreclosed, you know, you got kids, you're wondering where you're gonna go, you can't make ends meet, and all you want to do is kill the noise. So one files bankruptcy. And so the difference between how the poor use bankruptcy and how the rich use bankruptcy. Remember, I said the poor wants to create this imaginary world that those who are thriving financially are debt free. Like they believe that. If people really believe that individuals who are wealthy, they are that way because they got all this cash in the bank and they don't know nobody. No, the reason why a person is wealthy as opposed to a person who is struggling financially is because this is what the rich do when they have bankruptcy. They don't look at it as debt elimination scheme. They're looking at it, what's the best way? Okay, I'm already been given 10%. What's the best way for me to protect the assets that I currently own? Because they know assets produce income. They're not going to let creditors work on their personal income to pay them off. That's why they don't play the game that poor people play. Poor people are playing the I want free, I don't owe nobody. Rich people are playing, you have a president currently in this who built his platform and his notoriety on the fact that he has filed bankruptcy several times and he is a billionaire, millionaire, what have you. Because what they know, the wealthy, this is not a play at commemorating or celebrating Donald Trump, but to understand how the game is being played. And I had to explain to that person that rich people look at bankruptcy as, we need to protect assets because we know that these assets can bring us in. Currently, they may be struggling a little, but eventually we get a few things in place, we sell off a few things, we get some stuff running, the income is coming in. Best to believe. Best to believe. Best to believe. They know that. Poor people, on the other hand, file a bankruptcy like, how can I not, how can I just, all my debts just go away, and some way or the other, I'm going to live in this imaginary land where I am just work a job and be debt free. Happen. And so what happens is they are on this merry-go-round. Like I was saying, so I was making the comparison about what the rich do and the poor do. And I said that the poor, when they use bankruptcy, they see it as, how can I get debt free? I want to live in this imaginary world where I don't owe nobody. I pay everything in cash. Um, and I'm just going to live a debt-free life. And when you really study, when you study the habits, when you study, the principles, when you study how the rich accumulated their wealth, they're not sitting around wondering how they can be debt-free. That is not a conversation. So going back to what I said about bankruptcy, when the wealthy use bankruptcy, they use it as a tool to be able to protect their assets. It's an asset protection play. So that's the difference. There's a whole different mindset of, I'm protecting my assets. I have secured creditors. I have some unsecured creditors. We're going to leverage this bankruptcy law, and we're going to get rid of all these unsecured creditors. We're going to restructure a few things, and then we're going to resume getting this asset to create income for us. Because it goes back to a post that I posted right here on YouTube, and it talked about the game of Monopoly. If you haven't played the game, I can't assume every adult has, but the whole point of the game of Monopoly, especially if your strategy is to win, is to invest in assets that can produce income for you. So even if you land in jail and other people are going around the board and they land on your assets, you still get paid money. This is the strategy of the person who's going to lose. They're looking at, ooh, I get $200 every time I go around the board. So what I'm going to do is every time I go around the board, I collect $200, I collect $200, I collect $200. And it's good in the beginning, when nobody has bought any properties and all you're doing is just going around the board. Oh, does anybody own Park Place? No, that's good. I don't owe nobody. Ooh, does anybody own Pennsylvania Avenue? No, that's good. I can go right around the board. And see, what happens is, as the game continues going on, people start putting some properties on those colors around the board. So now when you land on Park Place, ooh, I gotta pay you how much? Ooh, you got three red houses, or what is it? 3 green houses and one hotel. Ooh, the back of the car said I gotta pay you what? And now you go around a few more places. Oh my God, I done landed on Pennsylvania Avenue. I gotta pay you what? You got how many green houses and 1 red, hotel? Oh my God. And so what happens is that now that $200 that you were getting around the board don't look so enticing now, because you got to pay someone every time you go around the board. The analogy is that people are really going through life like that. When you, as an adult, begin to start, and you haven't been given any type of financial wisdom on life or what have you, and for many of us, we haven't, I know my parents, they gave me the best that they could. This conversation about assets creating income for you, these are things that I had to find out. These are things that I had to, begin to learn, as I became an adult. My parents, they didn't, number one, they didn't own nothing. Did my mother have great credit? Sure, my mother had great credit, but did she own anything? No. But if you understand historically, did she try to own something? Now, yes, that's a whole different conversation. But if you understand historically, redlining and African Americans being, not part of the equation of owning assets, that was really the reason why she never owned nothing, And I share this story to say my mother was born in the 30s. So, a lot of people who watching this video, your mom may have been, born in the 70s. There's a whole different generation of a parent born in the 30s as opposed to somebody your mother was born in 1969, 1970. It's a whole different conversation, But I say that to say the fact that she never owned nothing, she didn't have assets to create income, that was not a conversation that she can pass down to me. Now, did she pass down to me the importance of saving? Of course. Did she pass down to me the importance of having good credit? Of course. But as I begin to study, as I still continue to study, because the study is ongoing, is that this is not how they're doing it. Like, bankruptcy is not a debt elimination play. It is for the poor. Don't get me wrong. I know there's people watching this video like, use a damn lie. I filed bankruptcy and I didn't have to pay nobody. But it goes back to those creditors know your financial habits better than you. So the second part of the story that I told you in the beginning part was that the mortgage was owned by a very big bank. And they sold it off to a subprime lender. There is money. Billions and trillions of dollars are made for mortgage companies who buy subprime loans, mortgage loans. These are assets that they know are in bankruptcy. I'm part of a mastermind. I told you about it a few months ago. I'm continuing my study on it. Just recently got off, I was at the gym, was listening to a webinar that I missed out on. And, the presenter was talking about when you're talking to asset managers and you're deciding on what type of assets you want to purchase, there are banks that just sell assets for individuals who are in bankruptcy. They will sell it. Now, that may not be their play. So the reason why they're selling it off, that's not their play. They don't want to be in that game. So they'll sell it off to another person, another lender. And you best to believe there's lenders out there who are buying it. They are buying it. So it's two sides. It's two sides of the coin. And so why do I bring all this up? Why do I bring this up? I bring this up because I don't understand how individuals who hurt financially don't want to learn nothing, don't want to know nothing. They really truly want to go through life like, oh, woe is me. And this is not to throw shade on anyone. This is just to throw shade to individuals who may have that mindset. I'm just going to go through life. I know I'm hurting financially, but I'm not willing to learn nothing new. I just want to go around blaming people or making people feel bad that they know something and that's a whole nother video. Like, I literally want to do a video on that topic, so I'm not going to touch a lot on it. But the other side of it is for the person who's saying, you know what? I don't know what I don't know. I'm currently right now working a job, and I've talked about this. This is a continual conversation of a high income skill set. Is there only one high income skill set? No, there are many. There are many. I know the ones that work for me, but there are others out there, and it's up to the person to go and seek knowledge. Because like I said, a lot of times information that you will come across will, number one, open a door that you never knew existed. It goes back to how are you going to play the game if you don't know the rules? But you got to be willing to read the rules. Like, a lot of people don't even want to read the rule book. Like, hey, here's the rule book. I read. So it goes back to, like I said, past couple of videos I've been doing, the importance of having a high income skill set. Because the one thing that I don't know what to do is to tell someone who I know owes $15,000 and I try to tell them how to put $150 where $15,000 is supposed to go. There ain't no credit strategy in the world. I don't care who your guru is. Your guru can't teach you that. You that is straight fraud. I'm not trying to go to jail. God bless those who do. Like I said, a lot of times my information is doesn't really resonate with certain type of people because it takes work. It takes work. It takes reading. It takes learning. There's no way that, I don't tell nobody, oh, you just got to do this quick thing. Most people will tell you who works with me, it takes work. It takes work. Want to learn about credit? It takes work. And then people will say, well, I really don't have the time. Can you do it for me? You can't really afford my time. Like I'm not doing no personal credit for no under $100 a month and this, that, and the other. Like I told you, I'm out of that, I'm out of that sandbox. Now, do I have resources that I provide to people that they can learn that's under $100? Of course. But in terms of my personal time, me sitting down with you and showing you some things and telling you some things, nah, that I don't. But I will say this. For individuals who really truly want to learn a high income skill set, like I said, there's many out there. What I'm going to be doing in the next couple of months is I'm going to do a series of webinars here, right? I may do them free here on YouTube. I believe so. I haven't really decided. I don't know if I want to just primarily do it on my email communication list, or I'll do them here free on YouTube. But what I will be doing is helping individuals to find ways. Now, this ain't no government handout. This ain't no what you got to do to collect $2,000 from the government. Now, that's not that play. This is a play where you can learn some things that will generate some income for you. Will tools cost money? Yeah, I'm going to tell you stuff I'm, investing in. Like I said, the information I just imparted on this video about how bankruptcy is played, how people are playing the asset buying game in real estate, which is keeping you in debt, which is keeping you financially bonded while people are making billions. I had to invest in that information. Like, that ain't on no free YouTube video. That was playing, paying money to go to an event, and then continuing paying money to be in a mastermind, and then continuing paying money to buy assets that the bank has. Like, this ain't no government handout. But I will say, will the webinars be on that? No. The webinars will be on a combination of things that I do outside of, real estate that can bring income into your household, into your bank account, or what have you. And like I said, it's not the only thing is free is the information. The information is free, but some of the tools, if people want my time, that will all cost. But other than that, because we're in the summer months, and right now what people have in their mind is fun in the sun with family. I totally get it. I wanted to. But what a lot of people also don't know, that it's planting season. So right now, people are seeding. They're putting seeds in the ground, and they're looking to reap a harvest by the end of the summer or by the fall. Because I know myself, me and my children, there are vegetables that we're planting, and we know that harvest is not going to come until the end of the summer. It's just the type of fruits and the vegetables that we're growing. They're not going to be ready until the end of the summer. So we started in May. We started in April. We seeded then, and they're continuing to grow. We've put them in the ground, and we're going to get a harvest, we know, by the like I said, beginning of fall, the end of the summer. What does that have to do with this? Like I said, the season that we're in, a lot of people have fun in the sun on their mind. They do not have planting seeds and reap a harvest, because winter is coming. And what will you do different? It's June 1st today as I film this video. We're 6 months into the new year. There are resolutions that people have made. How many of them have reached those resolutions? We're in the second quarter. half of the year is over. So the point that I'm making now, there's information that I'm going to put on this channel. Okay, I mean, I'm not no attorney. I just want to put that out there. I think the person was named Angela. I'm not no attorney, so I can't give no legal advice. And I think the person did say they are seeking the advice of the attorney, and that is the best thing to do. Seek the continued advice of a bankruptcy attorney, because I'm not one. And just so you know, I've never filed for bankruptcy. I did a video on this channel, and I talked about, I gave my story, how, you know, I know what it's like to have people just at you 10 different ways. It happened to me. And unfortunately, I was too broke to file for bankruptcy. You know, the bankruptcy attorney didn't even want to take my case because I was currently unemployed. I guess he didn't really see, you know, how he was going to get paid or how the creditors were going to get paid. And I had, since I didn't know anybody, so he never did nothing. And that started my journey, because could I have went to another attorney? Yeah, I could have, but I just didn't know better. So I kind of took what he said and went with it. And that took me on the journey to figure out how I'm going to get out of debt. And I made a decision, and this was in the 90s. So this is pre-YouTube, this was dial-up